How are you guys? How is to be back in Holland?
To be back in Holland, it's wonderful to be back here. Holland's always been an amazing place for us. Our uncle Michael used to always tell us how great all of Europe was, but he'd always single out Holland for being so supportive, and for our career as well. All the Dutch fans have been so incredibly supportive throughout our career, so it's always special to come back here.
Yeah. Yesterday you were in Nijmegen to make pictures. How was that?
It was fun. Yeah. When we used to come out in the 90s, we used to stay in the hotel rooms. We never got to see the cities. So this time around, I try to see every city I go to. And it was a lot of fun. It was cool because there are some busy areas, but also very peaceful areas. So it was great.
What do you like the most of the city? Something special or?
What I like the most is, there's a lot of cool things, but something that I noticed, there's a lot of fries shops.
Fries shops?
Yeah, I saw shops of French fries everywhere. And French fries is my favorite food. So that was pretty cool.
Oh, nice. Are you guys with him or?
No, I haven't seen yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
You still are there plans today to go to the city or?
Yes, eventually, yes. Definitely.
You too?
Yeah, I don't like hanging out with them unless it's on stage. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
But you know, one more thing. I like all the bridges.
The bridges?
Yeah, and the water. It's very peaceful and beautiful. There's so many different bridges because this morning I ran around. And it was very cool.
What is the first thing that pops up in your head when you are back here in Holland? What kind of things you know of Holland, maybe?
I mean, for us it's the bicycles, I think.
The bicycles?
Bicycles. But it's relaxing here.
Yeah. Maybe
it's
2 years,
maybe
a few years ago you are on the bicycle.
Yeah.
Did you also do that now, or?
No, not this time. Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. We will, though.
We gotta do the show first.
Okay. We will.
We were talking about it on the coming to the airport, just in terms of there's a familiar, vibe to coming back and being in Holland.
Good.
It feels good, and we were talking about that while we were getting our bags and stuff.
What about new music? What are you working at now? So
right now we're kind of doing our own things. We're taking time. We've been 3T forever, so I think it's time for us to kind of do little other ventures. But that's why these shows and coming around is so important to us, because it brings back a lot of great memories, and I think it re-energizes us. So hopefully soon there'll be more music from 3T.
Okay, nice. And when can we expect that?
We don't have a date yet.
Yeah, we're not good at giving dates, because whenever we say a date, it's always years after.
So Terrell, maybe I saw on your social you're making beats on Ableton. Is that right?
I'm learning. I try
Can we expect maybe some solo things or?
Yeah, I always do music, but I like to work in all the digital audio workstation, the DAWs, and recently I'm doing Ableton.
Okay, and
but still Studio One, because that's my favorite.
Okay,
I have to say that.
But are there some tracks that you?
I'm gonna put out music. I'm gonna put out music soon.
Okay.
He wants to know when.
When?
Yeah, give him something.
Possibly.
Can we give us a scoop, please?
Maybe later this year.
Okay.
Say that.
Are you guys also working with him when he is on Ableton on the computer?
I can't afford. They charge me too much.
I'm expensive.
I try to get them to sing, and
He wants a brother discount, but he's not getting it.
Okay.
No, but we all do writing. We're Jacksons, so we grew up doing music. Mm-hmm. So we're doing different types of music. We're expanding our craft, which is cool. It's been re-energizing. Terrell's doing his dance stuff and EDM stuff, and I'm doing some country things and
country things.
Well, you won't. Well, yeah. I was gonna say you're not gonna see me in a cowboy hat and boots. That'd be funny. But some I've been going to Nashville to write. So that would be funny, country. But I actually really love country music. I just wasn't raised in the country, so I don't know how authentic I would sound as a country artist. But
maybe you can try now.
Hey, maybe. But I love country. Okay. That'd be cool.
That would be interesting.
Are there some special?
He's doing photography stuff.
What do you guys listen to when you play some songs on your phone? What kind of?
older stuff. Yeah, I listen to more of the classic stuff. That they always joke with me because my music list stops at like 2000. Like, you know, so anything
that's hot on the radio right now,
I would not know it. Yeah, like it literally.
There'll be a #1 song around the world, and he'll never have heard it. And I always say to him, how are you in the music industry if you don't know the #1 song in the world?
It's just music's not what it used to be to me. I'd rather listen to the classics.
I saw an interview maybe a few years ago with Fernando from Phonics. And he asked you, maybe you come up with a collaboration with Pharrell Williams. Is there some really new collaboration coming up, or with other artists like that, or?
We haven't really been thinking about doing a project like that yet. But I'm sure once we do, you know, Pharrell's a great talent, so he would be somebody we'd like to work with as well. Okay. But we haven't really even thought about that right now.
Okay. It's just now the concert
Yeah.
Something else. You are all the nephews of one of the biggest pop stars in the world, Michael Jackson. What is the most helpful thing to carrying that Jackson name, and what is the hardest part of it? Because I think you're always hearing, oh, we are the nephews of Michael Jackson, wow.
I think it's all we know. It's been ever since we were little. We've been hearing that, so we're used to it. Mm-hmm. There's great things and bad things about it, you know, but the good always outweighs the bad. But we love music, we love performing. We learned from all of our uncles. Our Uncle Michael's incredible. And his music is just forever. You know, so hearing his music, you know, we were talking about that the other day. I went into a restaurant and they had it on a Michael Jackson Pandora, just playing songs over and over, and it makes you smile because you see other people singing along to it, and you see the happiness it brings people. So that makes us feel well.
What kind of influence he had on your music career, or maybe on your life experience?
He had a huge impact on us. Not only as musicians and artists, but also as people. I was telling someone that this whole time I've always seen my Uncle Michael as just my Uncle Michael. I always thought of him from the uncle perspective, you know. But
everyone thinks
of him as the artist. And now as time goes and I hear, you know, his songs on the radio more and see pictures, and I'm just now seeing, not just now, but I really can feel the impact he made on the world, you know. So it's really interesting to see, because when you guys see Michael Jackson, I see my fun uncle who I have incredible memories of.
Your father released, I think in May it was, new music, also with your support. What were the reactions of the music?
I love his album. We did a lot of songs over the years on his album, which we knew of, but there's a lot of songs that we didn't know of, he kept from us. And our father was the only Jackson sibling from that generation to never release a single album. So he finally released his debut album, and we couldn't be happier for him. Because I think a lot of people don't realize when our uncles and fathers in the 80s, they were all doing projects, our father was spending a lot of time grooming 3T. And he was, you know, in the studio as a producer for us. So he never got his moment to be a solo artist. So to see him doing it now is really cool for us.
In the past 20 years, I saw in other interviews, there was a lot of trouble in the family or in the music industry. There are a lot of trouble things to release new music.
Yeah, well, I think it's so different now, the music industry. A lot of things are good, a lot of things are bad. But it's different, you know. There's a lot of positive things about it, you know. You can put your music out there and do it yourself and reach a lot of people. But at the same time, it's just not what it was, you know. That the whole experience of going to record stores and seeing and experiencing other styles of music, it's just so different.
You sound so old. You're
that's what
telling
it
the
is.
truth.
It's the record store.
We grew up buying CDs and looking forward to an album getting released on a certain.
Do they still
day.
have record stores here?
Yeah, they do. They have one.
do?
Yes. We actually
Not
have-
vinyls, like CDs and.
Yes, they
buy
do.
music?
But we have a flag in one of the stores. I saw that yesterday.
What kind of singles you're about to buy if you are in that record shop? What would you buy?
I would buy a vinyl and probably.
Do you even have a record player?
I do. It sounds great. But sorry for the interruption. He's still learning. But I would probably buy a Jimi Hendrix vinyl.
Jimi Hendrix?
Yeah, I'm a big Jimi Hendrix fan.
Okay.
But there's a lot of artists, but I think I don't have a vinyl on Jimi Hendrix, so I would buy that.
You're also working on a new project, Family Rules.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
You know, when you go online, you see a lot of pictures of nice cars, nice women, and a lot of big houses. And I never could find something. You see, there's a lot of people that have great quotes for self-improvement and inspiration, but I didn't really see anything that was teaching family values and a site that would really promote how to become a better family member. So my wife and I just wanted to start putting out positivity when it comes to family, and that's what we did. We just launched it 2 months ago on our 10-year wedding anniversary. And it's been really cool. I've been getting a lot of great feedback, so it's awesome.
Nice, nice. Thijs, you're tweeting something of what happened in Barcelona, that your heart was with Barcelona that day. Maybe a question for all you guys. Are you ever thinking maybe some terrorist attack could happen to your performance when you're performing, or that kind of things can happen, or never?
You don't want to think that, because then you get like scared, and then they win in that way. And I think for us, music's always about bringing people together. And so when we do our performance, or when we do performances, it's always about spreading love and light to everyone. So I try not to think of that at all. Like, that doesn't even cross my mind. It's just about connecting with the people and the fans.
Yeah, because you're tweeting also, you're really caring about the fans, that they are safe to come to. Yes, yeah.
It's super important to us. We grew up loving people, and in that way, in terms of connecting with fans, and we would watch our dad and our uncles, and that's how they were. They cared about their fans, and they cared about the community, and so us naturally growing up, we watched that, and we're the same way.
Are there some maybe crazy things that happened when you were at the meet and greet or something, or?
Not with meet and greets, but a lot of the crazy stuff happened back in the 90s. We would have some fans that would sneak into the room and be like, and scare us, because they'd be already in the closet, like when we were just checking into our rooms, and they were already there.
Still, even when we check into a room, at least I do, I make sure there's no one in there. I go in the closets and the baths. Yeah.
Maybe if you're going to a club together, is there not always a fan that you recognize you, or can you go to the club without trouble going in trouble, or getting fans on your?
We don't go to the clubs too much, but last time we did here in Holland, a lot of people had recognized us. Yeah. So, but we don't go out as much.
Okay.
No.
What do you in your free time? What would you do? Not going to the club, but maybe on a Saturday night if you're free. What kind of things you do?
Family.
Movies. We like going to movies. Family stuff. We're pretty boring, I think.
That sounds very boring. Every once in a while, we try and go out to see what's going on in the place that we're at. Like, we will go to a club, but it's not often.
Maybe on tonight. You're going to perform, and you're really exciting about it. Yeah. Maybe.
No. We love performing. You know, we've been doing it since we were very little, and it's what we love to do, music, and then being in front of the fans and the crowd. It's just a great feeling. You can't describe it really, and especially here in Holland, it's just, we love it.
Okay.
always exciting because you get to share. It takes a lot to make music, and this is the best part, is when you share it with fans and people, and they sing it back and they react from what you've created. So it's always wonderful to perform. Before the performance, though, sometimes, you know, your mind is making sure things are done right. So when we were younger, we were such perfectionists that we didn't get to enjoy it as much as we probably should have, because we wanted everything to be perfectly right. But now, you know, it's more about just enjoying it and having a good time.
We've learned over the years that it's never perfect.
Okay.
As many times as you want it to be perfect, something always goes wrong, and you have to make adjustments. So it's part of it.
Yeah, thank you for your time.
Thank you. It was a great interview.
Yeah?
Yeah.